Okay, if y'all have your bands somewhere around, go ahead and grab them because I'm going to show you some isometric moves. What is isometric? Well, you know, it goes through different, as the more they study human movement. Isometrics is used when you can't move a joint, okay? When you can't really move your muscles, but you need to tighten them. That's an isometric. Isometric is not really moving a joint so that the muscles and the joint action goes through its full usage. It is tightening. So think of that's an isometric. See? And if I bring my elbows up, it affects different parts of me. So if I'll drop my shoulders and I just push, see, I don't really move a joint, but I'm pushing against a resistance. It's a way of getting you to tighten your muscles. Very valuable to do that. In fact, you will have less muscle loss if you're immobilized and you're in bed or you just can't get up and do stuff. If you'll tighten each muscle group all the way down on a regular basis, you won't lose as much muscle. Did you know that? That's isometrics. So some of the other ones of isometrics is tension against, pushing against something. So here's a band, good example. This is very good. Drop your shoulders. At the same time, I'm going to do some foot and ankle prepping. Now, how am I going to do that? I've got my band right here. I'm going to drop my shoulders, tighten my tummy. So keeping your tummy tight and then pushing against something is kind of an isometric. I'm going to step forward with one foot, and here is where you have to put safety mechanisms. If I go forward, see how I'm straight in a straight line almost? See, that's a straight line? That can be very challenging. So open, out. You're going to be much more stable. Then I can shift from my toes to my heels. It's a tiny move, but it makes you tighten all the way up. When my legs are straight and I'm standing here like this, I drop my shoulders. I put a little pressure against the band with straight arms, drop my shoulders, tighten my tummy, shift into my toes, shift into my heels. It's a very small move, okay? But you'll start breathing harder in just a few seconds because you are contracting muscles. Drop your shoulders again, say rib cage up, breathe in through your nose, drop your shoulders. See, I'm just shifting into my toes. I'm not lifting my heel. If you lift your heel a little, that's okay, but I'm really not moving a lot. I'm shifting, I'm contracting. I'm holding this band very taut with my shoulders down, okay? Take big breaths because you'll start demanding a little more oxygen because you are contracting muscles without moving a lot. Okay, keep the arms taut. Bring your leg back. See, this is my neutral stance. Then I'm just going to take a step as if I were going to walk. However, I'm going to make it a wider distance between my feet. My legs are pretty straight. They're not locked. I am holding this, and some of you are saying, how long are we going to hold this, Jeannie? And I know Kathy's counting. She knows exactly how much we're holding. I want you to keep holding because I'm trying to make a point here. Take a breath. See, my arms are pretty straight. My shoulders are definitely down. I'm trying to show you how to contract your muscles without doing a lot of moving. It's called isometric, okay? It's contracting your muscle against pressure that you're putting. See how these arms are? See? Drop your shoulders. And all I'm doing is shifting to my toes and then to my heels. And if you stay in this kind of a modality for a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, up to 5 minutes, you're gonna like go, I'm so tired. Release. That's what isometrics will do. I started this for some of you doing this kind of a thing. Drop your shoulders. So I'm not really moving my muscles. I'm pushing against resistance that I'm setting up. Now I'm going to do another one specifically for hip. A lot of times when your hip is giving you trouble, you're not going to be able to do a lot of moving, okay? Now, number one, it's best, I'm using if you have a holding, a chair. So if you have your chair, put it on this side, like see this right here? I could put my hand here if I needed it. Here's my wall, or it could be a bed, or it could be a counter. I'm going to shift and put my weight into one foot, one leg. I have my hand here, but I would much prefer, I'll do this so you can see what I'm doing, for you to have your chair here. You're barely putting your hand here, and then you bring your foot up like this against the wall, against a couch, against anything. And if you're standing on one leg and you're just using this as a insurance, you're not really using it, grabbing it. But right now, what I want you to do is I want you to really push this leg into the wall as hard as you can. And I'm taking a breath in through my nose, dropping my shoulders, keeping my tummy tight, and I'm pushing against the wall with this knee. Okay, if you can hold it there for 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 30 seconds, and you're really pushing on the outside of your knee, pushing into there. And I have this here just as a safety precaution because there's a lot of pressure right here. Then bring it down, take a big breath, and turn side. So I have this here to show you. I don't really need it. So I'll bring it over here. Here's my back of the couch that I can't move, so I might as well use it. You could do it at a counter. You could do it on a wall. So first of all, our stance. Drop your chin, drop your shoulders. Now I'm gonna bring this leg up to like a 90-degree, and I'm gonna push against the wall with my knee. See that? I'm pushing, and all the pressure is coming right here. I'm pushing against the wall with my knee, and I'm really setting up a lot of tension, a lot of muscle contraction going on here just to keep me in this position while I push my knee to the wall. So I hope you're getting this. And if you hold it past 15 seconds and especially up to a minute, you're gonna feel this, okay? Why is this valuable? Number one, we're on one leg. I'm using whatever I need to minimally to hold me in good position. Keep pushing, push that knee against the wall hard as you can. Take a breath. And then when you can't hold it anymore, you bring that leg down, okay? I hope you got this. I'm showing you some isometric type things that can really help strengthen your hips, strengthen your chest muscles, your back muscles, your arm muscles, okay? I started with a band. Then I showed you this move right here, where you're against a wall and you're pushing the knee into the wall. and you're holding yourself on one leg. So we're doing one-legged stances. Then for hips, I'm going to stand here and I'm going to hold my hand again on the or on my chair, whatever, or have my chair here. And I'm going to bring my toe up. And if you have any issues with feet, Achilles, hips, knees, I've done this before. Gentle swing through. See, I'm not pushing. I'm not going really high. If you have a wonky hip and it's tight, or let's say you anywhere down the chain, the knee, the ankle, the foot, do these regularly. I'm gonna cover about 5 of them, maybe four or 5. Do you see how I have my toe up? Do you see how I'm doing a one-legged stance? I'm dropping my shoulders and I'm just swinging back and forth. And if you have a hip issue, a little tiny swing is plenty, okay? So you want to try to hit, 30 repetitions. See how I'm swinging this? It's very gentle. It's not, I'm holding both sides. So I would have had a chair here. I'm just trying to show you. Take a big breath, drop your shoulders, and swing gently back and forth. When you get to 30 repetitions, you're gonna feel it again on this hip. That is holding you. See how I'm gonna turn around? And I would normally have a chair here, and here's the wall, or here's another chair. So here I am. So this leg is gonna stay still, and the inside leg, or the side that's closest to the wall, is the one that's gonna swing, okay? If you wanna and you want us to keep using those wonky hips, put a few of these moves that we're doing today in your little basket of tricks that can help you keep ambulating. So when I'm doing this, I'm opening those hip flexors and extensors back and forth. This leg right here is holding my whole body weight for at least 2 sets of 10, 3 sets of 10. If you can get to 3 sets of 10, then that's great. At 3 sets of 10, you should be feeling quite warm right in through here, okay? I think I got about, 5 to 10 left. Take a big deep breath, big breath, big breath, big breath. Okay. Okay. Then you take your chair. I'll do this one this way. I will go ahead and take my chair here. Step kind of wide. Okay, we do this a lot. I'm gonna do it again to show you to not avoid this if you have hip issues, but you have to put safety mechanisms in place. Here's my kitchen chair, or a wall, or a counter. See, I could do all of this right along my counter. Every bit of this I could do along my counter. I could have pushed into the side here with my knee. I could have done everything I've done right here at the counter. So here's your chair. Step 1. Okay. You're going to shift until one leg goes straight. Okay, and we've done this before. And this is one that a lot of people will quit doing when they have some kind of hip issues. Now, because they're afraid, not because it's going to hurt it, because you're so worried that you're going to kick up some pain that you quit doing some of these moves. Okay, this is a very important side move, and you bend one leg, but you shift your weight, and you shift, and you shift. See this shifting, and you get your hands on your kitchen chair for a safety mechanism, or a wall, whatever. See that? So those of you who were with me on Friday, I'll ask later. I'm wondering how many people got sore, a little sore in your arms. I told you we were hitting arms. So Friday, and I'll post them. I haven't posted them yet. See what I'm doing? See what I'm doing? I'm not going deep. If you can, great. Go wide and really go down until you feel the groin stretching right through the inner thigh, okay? But you don't have to. See, you can do this and get great benefit from doing this. See, very, very narrow, and don't go so far. This kind of shifting motion, side to side, very good. Very good to do for hip mobility, okay? Because a lot of times when we're having trouble, arthritis trouble, especially in hips, the slightest little move takes your breath away. And then you just quit moving. And so with this whole session today, and I'm going to show you, I've just now showed you that if you want to go deeper, you can go deeper. You just go wider and you go down until you feel that real stretch in the inside groin area. Okay, so big breath, drop your shoulders, shift right into there. You have this to hold yourself. See? Do it. All of this stuff right with me. Okay? Big breath. Big breath. Big breath. And pretty soon, you're going to notice that you can go a little lower without having that tightness that you're thinking, oh, I can't move in that way because I'm just too, it's just tight. Because when you have arthritis, muscles around that joint get tight because they kind of are trying to protect you, okay? But the movement, gently done, will really help you. Okay, so after you've done side to side, and now you don't feel quite so tight, after you've done the series of these, now we're going to go to a very important one. You can use your kitchen chair. This stool is just too high. However, it's perfect if you want to modify the hip hinge, the sit to stand. And typically I'll do sit to stands in a kitchen chair, right? You have a kitchen chair. And I've told you that if you put a pad on the kitchen chair, that will help you. Now, see, I'm not going to do it on this because it moves. And so that might take me right into the floor. But I'm trying to show you a distance, okay? So this point that I'm talking about right now, I can't even tell you how important this is. A lot of people have trouble sitting and standing correctly because of issues in their knee, their hip, their back, whatever. The hip hinge, put your fingers right here where your hip hinges. Push your taillights back. As you go down, see, I'm modifying this. Now, if some of you are coming on and you just, I want to really do a really hard, okay, sit all the way down into your chair. You go right ahead and do that. If you're not one of them and you're just trying to make it through the day, do a little, I'll say a curtsy. See this? I barely touch the backs, the very back part of my upper hip. See? Right here, and then come back. All right? This is a hip hinge. And this is usually one of the moves that I start any talk that I ever give or any class is teaching a proper hip hinge. You would be amazed at how many little kids cannot do this move. You know what they do? The minute I act like I'm going forward, they round their back. They can't push their butt back. Some of you may be having trouble doing that, but I'm telling you, this benefits your whole leg all the way down into your feet. So before you go be active, do a series of hip hinging. And you see, I'm using this as a high bar, okay? I could come over here can go a little lower. But it's not necessary if I'm trying to deal with wonky hips. Just a hip hinge will suffice. And you will be amazed if you'll do 1 set, 2 sets, up to 3 sets of 10. Now, while I'm doing that, I'm going to take my band. So I want to do my hip hinge, but a lot of people won't do a little tiny move because they're thinking it's not hard enough. So put your band in your hands and just push your taillights back and then come back. What I would do right now, if I were just with you in your little workout room, is I would come right up here and I would say, go ahead and continue your hip hinging. And I would check your back. I would make sure your chin is tucked as you're doing the hip hinge on a high bar. See, this is the high measurement bar right here. I don't even have to go down and sit down into the chair. If you are having wonky hip problems, let me tell you, if you have arthritis and you're heading for a hip replacement, this move to sit and stand is painful. So I'm telling you, there is great benefit. And see, why I'm doing this, and this is where somebody like maybe Ed that is having Achilles problems. See, when I go into this move right here, I keep my heels pushing down. Then I come back and I shift into the toes. So you're not only benefiting the muscles and getting that synovial fluid, it's kind of like oil for your joints, emitted into my hips. I am shifting into my heels. I'm shifting into my toes. And when I come into my toes, I just add a little hip lift. And then, a heel lift. Sorry. Heel lift right there. See, I just barely went into my toes. Then I push my butt back and I barely do a hip hinge. If you want to go ahead and do a full sit to stand, do it. But there are some people that will look at what I just did and they'll go, oh, I can't do that. And I'm fixing to do just that with some weights here in just a minute. But I'm showing you the benefit in some of these, what seems to be very innocuous little moves. And when you've done these and you've lifted the heel, you've shifted into the heels, lift the heels. Now push your butt back. You're staying very extended in your back. You're keeping your chin tucked. You're breathing in through your nose. And you do that 30 times, you're going to feel different. You just are. So once you've done that, then go back and check how your hip is feeling. Put your hand on your counter, on your kitchen chair. Bring your foot up. Do a tap. Do a heel tap. And then do a tap. So see, I'm pointing my toe right there. I'm on one leg. So you will notice through this workout that we're doing, and this is for people who desperately need to move because they are injured. They have some real pain going on with arthritis, whatever, maybe an injury. See how I'm tapping right here? Well, what did I do with this leg? Well, I just softened it. I bent it a little bit. I tapped as far forward as I could. I have my hand here. I'm not gripping it, but my hand is right there. When I go to the side, I put my heel down. That right there is going to give your foot, your Achilles, your calf, your soleus, a chance to recover, but still have some movement. Anytime you start moving, whatever you can move, I call that molecules of motion. That's what that is. The muscles create molecules of hope. Okay, here we go. See that? So when I go back, if you're not holding here, you're gonna get off balance. You gotta hang on lightly. Now when you go to the side, see this? Yeah, stay. If you're staying in this whole thing, man, this side is gonna be heated up. Then take a break. That's fine, take a break. Turn, okay? And make sure that you're not leaning into wherever you're holding. Make sure you're close enough that you don't have to do that. Then you're gonna go back. This knee is soft. You're gonna go to the heel, right here, toe is up, and then you're gonna go to the toe. And anybody that has a hip issue, it's tight because of arthritis, you have injured yourself, see I'm toe tapping, this knee is a little bit soft, a little bit bent. And I'm gonna go back, and I'm gonna squeeze the gluteal, then I'm gonna go to the heel, squeeze, toe tap, squeeze the quad. So there's your isometric, okay? So I'm gonna keep going, but I'm showing you. Here's your isometric. So this is just tight. Then I'm gonna go here to the heel. See, to the heel, the toe is up, toe is up. And seriously, if you just take the time to do these that I'm doing with you, my knee is soft, rib cage is up, chin is tucked, and I'm gonna swing back through, and I'm gonna go toe tap, I'm gonna go heel tap, take a breath, then I'm gonna go toe in the back. Okay, so this is a combination of when you come here, you tighten. When you come here, you tighten. When you come here, you tighten your gluteal. Really tighten it. And then you come in. When you go all the way around there, wow, does that make your hips feel so much better? That's why I'm doing this. Okay, I've had this band. We did an isometric like this. Ruby's having a problem today. It's because there's thunderstorms and she goes nuts. And she's even medicated. Okay, see how I'm doing my isometrics? See how I'm doing that? I'm dropping my shoulders. I'm taking a good neutral stance. Then I'm gonna come right to here and bend my elbows. And then I'm gonna really pull back with my elbows while I'm pushing out on the band. Then I'm gonna go down and drop my shoulders and really pull out. Then I'm gonna bring it back in, bring my elbows in and really pull my hands out, 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 out. Drop your shoulders, take a breath. Then reach all the way down, drop, breath, drop your shoulders, breath. Then bring it back, put the elbows back and really pull out with your hands. Pull, 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 breath, pull, breath, pull, breath. One more time, here we go, down, here we go, pull them out, take a breath, and you have a neutral stance, not locking the knees. Drop and bring them back in. Now let go. Tell me that you don't breathe a little deeper because you were doing a lot of work. Okay, just that move against that isometric move against that band. Okay, now we're going to do one of the most important ones for our hips, and it's one of them that keeps us. If you did nothing else to keep strong, but the next one I'm going to do, okay, and it's just picking something up. Okay, yes, it has a specific name, but I don't want to scare you, so I'm not gonna use the name. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna use my weights, but I'm gonna go down and I'm gonna tap on the floor and I'm gonna come up, okay? So this next one, if I were with you personally and you couldn't come down here and tap on the floor, see how I'm going to bend my knees? I'm going to keep my chin tucked. I'm going to go to the side so you'll see what I'm doing. My back has to stay extended. And when I go down here to tap the floor, I cannot put my head below my butt, okay? I'm going down, drop my shoulders, and I'm going to tap the floor. And if you could not do that, then I would have to take a different move instead of the move I'm going to do with the weights coming up. So if you're having a hard time getting your butt down so you can tap the floor, that means bending at the knees, that means wide, that means hip hinging, push my butt back, tap on the floor, 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 tap on the floor. Come back up, okay? That's what I would need to see before I would have you do any kind of a weight lifting, okay? Because you are lifting weights. You're lifting your own body weight. So now I'm going to come over here and I'm going to start with a 9-pound. For me, you might want to just do the move with no weights. Perfectly fine. You see this? I'm going to put this weight right down. Okay? Now when I do that, and if you want to think of this as a froggy lift, you can put your toes outside just a bit, okay? Because as I go down, I'm going to push this butt back, and I'm going to pick that weight up, correct? That means I can't take my chest and my head down lower than my butt. I can't stress this enough. You've got to press, get down, grab the weight, and come up. That's the way you're going to benefit with the whole body. If you'll take the time to get that butt down. That means bending, 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 but not bending your back. See, I just grabbed my 9 pounds. Here it is. My toes are out just a bit. As I go down, I want to push that butt back. I want to go down with my butt as low as I can, then grab it and bring it back up. Okay? So if I can do that with 9 pounds, then I could probably do more. But if I'm having a hard time in this kind of a pickup, kind of a move, and see, every time you do this, think I'm right there. I have my hand right here. And if I feel you rounding your back, if I feel that you're not really being able to bend through the knee and the hip in order to put that weight down, then we have to take and do some different moves, okay? So I'm going to do this one more time, and everything's feeling good. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go up in weight, okay? So it needs to be challenging. But if you don't want to go up in weight, don't go up in weight. It's the bending. It's the folding. I call it folding. See how my rear end is much lower than my head and my arms? So if you were someone that were having a hard time not curling or flexing in your back, I would have you put this on a higher ledge, not to the floor, just to here, and then come back. So if you're having a hard time going all the way to the floor, then don't go to the floor. Look at my feet. I'm going to push my butt back. I'm going to come right to here. I'm going to take a breath. I'm going to bring that weight right into the chest. I'm pushing into my heels, keeping my chin tucked. So I'm not going all the way. But guess what I'm doing? When I go just to here, I'm pushing into my heels, my back, my hips, my quads, my legs. They're all having to stabilize this weight. So now I'm using a 15-pound. I'm not going all the way down because I'm trying to show you a modification. You can get great benefit in strength for your core and your back. You don't have to go all the way to the floor. I'm going to go to the floor because I can, but I did several right here and then back. See? Right here and then back. Right here and then back. This is very beneficial for anybody that's having wonky hip issues, I call it. Take a breath. Make sure that you don't speed up. Make sure that you set down your hips, that your heels are really pushing. Breath, and then come back. Squeeze the butt right here. So if you've been doing all this and when you come up, you don't squeeze the butt, you need to squeeze. That's that isometric. So right now, contract the hips right now. Now release. Breath, go right with me. Drop your shoulders. Breath, right here. Drop your shoulders. Way down with the hip. And again, some of you may not be able to go all the way down. Then just go to here and come back. See? Go to here and come back. So right now I have a 15-pound. So I've done several. Now I'm going to put it down. Pick up the last bar. Okay? So let me just review. Take a minute. Just take a minute. Open your hands. Close your hands. Step forward. Stretch all the way back. Then come to neutral. Step forward. You're doing a little interset right now. And come back. So, if you did the first part of this workout, just getting your wonky hips to function better, and then you embarked upon it's actually called the deadlift. I'm modifying it. But one of the tasks that we have to do is to stay strong enough to do all those activities around our house, excuse me, that we want to do, which entails a lot of picking up things. And so many of us get into trouble, I have to get a little drink, in picking things up because we don't take the time excuse me. I'm talking too much. Okay. I knew my voice was going to give out. It's got to be pollen and stuff. Okay. I hope you noticed something. I went down here to pick this weight up. So I hope you noticed how I did it. Now, I'm going to take my stance. I'm going to try not to talk. I'm going to push my butt back. I'm going to see how it's feeling. And if I don't want to go all the way down, don't do it. Right here, you need to squeeze that isometric squeeze. That is going to help you strengthen the muscles in your butt. Okay, so go halfway and then squeeze right there. Okay? This is going to help you walk better, y'all. You don't walk better by just continuing to walk. You got to strengthen some muscles. Okay? So now I'm going to go on down, but you may not want to. Then you just go halfway and then come up here and squeeze your butt. That's it. For anybody else, you come right here. See how my knees are tracking over my toes? See how my back is very extended? And I'm gonna pull. Boom. Yes. I'm gonna do it again. Drop. And when I come to this point, I squeeze my gluteals really hard. And I release. Boom. Stay over. Knee tracking over toe. But when you bring that weight down, you are in your heels. Then you come and you squeeze your gluteals right here. I'm telling you, if you do this even 10 times, and you do it, let's say you do this 2 or 3 times a week, you're gonna be stronger in your walking. You're gonna be stronger working in your garden. You're gonna be stronger bowling. You're gonna be stronger doing all the activities, dancing. See this? Make sure that back, tighten your butt right here. Drop your shoulders. Yeah, if you can't go all the way down, go to here. Come back. Go to a chair. Come back. Tighten. Right there, tighten. Right there. Tighten. See, tighten. Okay, I'm gonna do 3 more. Tighten your butt. Back down. Tighten. And back down. Tighten. Yay. Now I'm just gonna take this. This is heavy weight. Go to my knee. Bring it up. So what am I doing? I'm doing a modified hip hinge. This is what I'm doing. But I'm benefiting my shoulders, my grip, my hands. Squeeze your butt right now. Breath. Squeeze, release. Squeeze, release. Squeeze, release. Squeeze, release. Squeeze right now. Now you release. Now you squeeze. Now you release. Breath, squeeze. Then I'm going to take this weight, put it down. See how I'm going to put it down? I step wide, right into here, put her down, come back. So if you have wonky hips, I am telling you, these simple moves that I did at the first of this workout will help you move the muscles of the hip without overdoing. Okay, so see, what am I doing? I'm shifting. I'm lifting my toe. I'm shifting. I'm lifting my heel. And I'm doing basically a walking step. So if you wanted to make this extremely challenging, then you do a tandem move. We've done this a lot. You don't have to have the heel at the toe. Just in front. And then shift. Shift and bring your heel up. Then shift and bring your toe up. And have something that you can hold on to. See how I'm pulling my toe up? Those of you who are plagued with things like plantar fasciitis, Achilles tendonitis, etc., I would have you do this very move, but not loaded. I would have you seated, and I would have you in this stance, and you pull your toe, then you pull your heel. See that? Then I'd switch. I'm doing it standing, and you can do it either like a walking step and just shift and shift. That's fine. Or you can be very challenging, and you can have, see, I have a counter here and something steady here. See this? So I'm going to shift. I'm going to lift the heel in the back, then I'm going to lift the toe in the front. All the time, I'm keeping an extended spine. Okay? Drop my shoulders, drop my chin. Okay, this shifting back and forth, lifting the heel, lifting the toe. It is money, you guys. We just don't take time to do these things. I'm telling you, it will help tune up your whole foot, your whole leg, and especially it will be kind to your hips. And then I did a series of lifting. You don't have to go all the way to the floor, but you do have to keep your posture in neutral. Okay, I'm going to end with the band. So now I'm going to take a split stance. Yeah, my throat's giving out again. Split stance, just like I just did, but now it's wider here. So if you have a hard time with balance here, then go wider. Don't turn your little foot. See, this is the sluggy move. We don't want to do that, even though I love slugs. Okay. Then I'm going to turn. So now I've done a lot of forward and backs and stuff like that. We did some side to sides, but now I'm going to turn. I'm going to bend the back knee. I'm going to put a real stretch on that Achilles right there. I'm going to turn and pull. See that? Keep my elbow down. But I'm going to keep my shoulder down too. Because I just want to do some isometric holding with this upper body. See this? Pull. Pull. Wouldn't you know, I left my umbrella in the car. Oh well. Take a breath. And you're holding, holding, holding. See? Drop your shoulders. Drop your shoulders. Put them down. Then I'm going to come back. Then I'm going to go this way. See this? Drop your shoulders. Okay, hold that arm right out there. And you're going to pull. And you're going to pull. Take a breath. Drop your shoulders. Pull. Drop your shoulders. Pull. See, this one's isometrically holding out there. It's holding against the resistance. It's tight. Take a breath. Pull. And I'm stretching my heel cords in the back foot. Now, if somebody had, again, like I said, a very acute injury, I would do some very passive, not loading moves like this. I could have you seated and have one leg behind and one leg like this, seated. That's what I'm talking about, passive. I wouldn't actively be loading. My voice is going to give out, so that's why I'm going to get off of here. Anyway, those are some alternatives to do to make your hips work better. Okay. And stop recording. And stop.